Today, I'm going to try to take this gloss heavy medium and this slow dry medium and put them together, mixing these Liquitex basics. Try this slow dry by itself over here maybe, and then just do the paints themselves right here in the middle, just for a fair comparison. These are all Liquitex products so that there's no mixing of different brands and causing weird anomalies that you could blame on me for mixing the wrong thing. I'm trying to get these acrylics to behave like oils. That's why I want to do this experiment. I want to see, do I need both of these or can I get away with just this? And I guess the truest form of control is to just use the acrylics directly on the canvas here in the center, as to give you a better comparison. And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to start with just the blue and the white. I think what I'm going to do is just try to do a sort of an ocean-like thing, very abstract. So we're just going to pretend this is a horizon line here. This is my first time using this easel, by the way. I built this last video, if you saw it. So this behaves like I expect. It's just going to go on real flat, smooth, kind of almost like laying marker down or something, you know. This is just a plain acrylic, nothing to it yet. I want to be fair to this test, so gotta have like a basic layout, okay? Is what I'm saying. All right. Now, yeah, it's getting to the point where it'll want to start to pull the paint. So if you don't know, this acts like a thickener, so it kind of makes more of an emboss effect, but it doesn't slow the drying time. This does slow the drying time, but it also decreases the viscosity quite a bit and flattens the paint out. So hopefully the two of them together won't counteract and make some mud or something, but we'll find out. But I want to try this because I just got this and I hadn't had a chance to try it yet. Again, I know they look the same, this same label color, but this is the gel that I got today. It feels kind of like a medium viscosity. I don't know how it's going to do. I'm going to try to go maybe like a half or 1-to-1 as much as possible on that. Also, this stuff stays. I've had that heavy gel for like a couple of years now. This stuff I bought in like 2022 and I've used it quite a bit. There's some, just in case you're wondering, there's almost nothing left in there compared to what I used. I mean, it goes really far. I painted probably 10 or 12 things with that stuff by now. On, 8x10 canvases, so if that gives you any indication. Depends on how much you use. I like a really thick impasto effect because that's why I like oils. There's that. And then the slow dry gel is on this side. And then I'm going to heavy gloss with this stuff. And you don't need much of this stuff. This stuff is, a couple of drops. It does not take much. Just kind of let it drizzle out of there. Good amount of paste on there. That's the, well, not paste, but the paint. I just want to see if this slow dry is going to help. I will stretch it out to see like what it does to the paint, kind of like what that did. That's already giving it more texture, in my opinion. You can see it's pulling though, like it wants to come off the canvas, but that's okay because that's what gives it that rich texture, in my opinion. And you can see the paint through it. This covers it clearly, like thickly. So I'm gonna go back over it one more time with another, because I did that with the other one. So I'm gonna do the same thing and see if I can get huge globs of paint on here. Because I want to see if it's going to dry with those paint strokes. I know this isn't like anything pretty to look at, but that's not really what I'm going for right now. I will finish this though. I will try to make this into a finished piece, but for now, I'm just using this as a comparison. Try to get that edge painted on there. My mom asked me one time why I don't paint to the edge, like around the edge. I said, because I like chaos. And really, it's just because I don't think about it, to be honest with you. But this makes it kind of cool because this easel that I built makes it very easy to paint to the edges if you'd like. I don't really care one way or the other, but I do like that I can. All right, let's see how this behaves. Okay, that's a little bit creamier. I'm gonna lay this down. There's one pass brush stroke like I did the last time, so I'm curious to see how far this is gonna go. The same thing with quite a bit of paint on it. I kind of cheated myself there. And it's doing kind of the same thing as that medium gel. But again, the other thing is too with that other gloss, the other gel is it is a gloss. I realize these aren't even, by the way, and I'll fix that later when it comes down to making this sort of a horizon style beachy thing. It's holding paintbrush well for now. I don't know if it's going to dry that way. That is the whole purpose of this. I'm doing 2 brush passes to really get the thickness on there. Yeah, this doesn't, the heavy doesn't want to drag as much, the heavy body stuff. So it's requiring quite a bit more paint to get that same coverage. That's something to note. I don't know if that medium does what I want it to do. I ain't worried about it. I'll start using that. I don't really have a specific way I like to do things. I just want a certain result. And like I said, I like to use oils. I missed that canvas by a mile. Oh well. I'm looking for a specific kind of result, obviously. And I don't know what's going to give me the best result. And I also hate wasting supplies, so I'm going to do my best to use what I have. Right, that's pretty impasto. There's some strokes there, but there's quite a bit more in that medium gel, even with less coverage. This has got some transparency showing through, and I can show you that. Might as well bring you close. So let's do it. So there you can see on the right, there's quite a bit of impasto texture, but on the left, there's a lot of paint strokes in there. And obviously in the middle with the plain acrylic, there's not anything there at all. I mean, you can see the texture of the canvas, but you can't really see paintbrush strokes. On the left you can, on the right you can, but that took a lot more paint to get a similar kind of coverage. And this has a lot of peaks and valleys, and this one over here does not. So, I mean, I have no bias towards either one because I didn't know how either one was going to behave. I just want to get the result I'm looking for. So, all right. So with that, I'm going to let this dry. We'll see how it goes. We'll be back. Well, the proof's in the pudding. That is the Slow-Dri medium. That is the plain acrylic. And that is the heavy body with the Slow-Dri liquid medium. So the Slow-Dri gel by itself mixed with the acrylic, I'm saying, those two together might be the way to go. It's got a nice texture to it. Yeah, this relaxed way too much with that medium dry, and that gel is designed to do exactly that. So it gave me the strokes, plus it adds workability time. Now, obviously you can get a little bit of brush effect with plain acrylic if you lay it on enough, but again, it'll relax. It doesn't hold as much as the gel did. So if you can see that line there, I mean, I could try, you know, kind of similar here. This is a little tacky because of the gloss, but this right here is from laying down the thick acrylic. But I like that you can see a lot of the intentional brush strokes here. This holds nicely. It relaxes a little too much in my opinion. I don't know. I think this held up like oils do in terms of it looks like what it looked like but when it was wet. And now that it's dry, it looks the same. At least it does to me. So I might be going with that. But I do have one more experiment I want to try. I want to try doing these 3 sections with a few more combinations.